Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the Split Decision. You're joined today by me, Taku, and power to my left, and Alex Mudronja. I'm gonna butcher this. Alex Mudronja. I'm so sorry.
Mudronja, it's pretty close.
Mudronja
Take it, we'll
from
take
the
it.
from the Adelaide 36ers. Thank you so much for coming on the podcast.
Nah, no problem. Thanks for having me.
And obviously, before we get into it, we've got to mention our sponsors, Cremlon and MHGNY. All the links will be in the description. If you want some nice new hoodies, they've got new hoodies coming. Their trackies, their shirt. I'm also using Tom10 or Taku10
Facts.
at checkout. And make sure you just check out the Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and the new YouTube channel. We've got new content coming all the time. So yeah, without further ado, let's get straight into the episode. And our first question for you is: Do you remember how old you were when you started playing basketball, and like that very first memory you had playing it?
Yeah, I started playing when I was 7 years old. I played, I don't know if you know much about Adelaide, but for Woodville Warriors, my first team. And I sort of just went out to practice, and I was horrible, to be honest. I didn't do anything. I was more of like a soccer player, a footy player. So my first, I can remember my first practice for sure, just because I was so bad. And I guess I had some friends that helped me out a bit, and I just fell in love with it right away. So yeah.
So growing up in Adelaide, was there any specific reason to why you played basketball?
Yeah, I guess growing up, I loved AFL, so I played a lot of that, and I loved soccer. But my older brother he decided to just play basketball because he had some friends in it. And I just wanted to be honest, when I was young, I probably wouldn't have told him then, but I wanted to be a lot like my older brother. So I followed him into the sport. And yeah, like I said, I just fell in love with it.
So then, when you're a kid playing basketball, did you ever hit this realization like I can take this pro, I can go professional playing this sport?
Yeah, I think that realization was not until probably I went to under 16 nationals, and I sort of just got some love, I guess, from the national selectors, and they just saw some potential in my game. And I was already a hard worker because I love the game, but that's my first sort of realization where I was like, oh, like okay, like I can do something with this.
Right. So did you have any like basketball idols growing up that you wanted to like replicate your game after?
Yeah, for sure. Sorry, I just froze for a sec.
All good.
Yeah, I think growing up, I was a huge Thunder fan, actually. So I loved Russ and KD when they were.
He knows what's up.
I think
Oklahoma fan.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Seattle first, and then Oklahoma.
Yeah, you even brought out the beanie. That's sick. No, I think every kid loved the Thunder because they were just a new team, and Russ and KD were so sick.
Oh yeah.
So watch, and they just play with so much energy and so much fun. So I just love them. And then I think after I sort of got more invested in the game, I started watching some other players, and then being a point guard, I really fell in love with the way Steve Nash plays. And I tried to sort of like replicate my game after him, just the way he sees the floor, plays out a pick and roll, how he can pass the ball is incredible. So yeah, for sure. After I sort of realized that I want to do something with basketball, I started watching guys like that, and then John Stockton and some of those, classic point guards.
Yeah. Classic pass and mid-range jumper kind of point guards. Ballers.
So then, other than basketball in general, did you have any other people that you looked up to?
Man, to be honest, I'm not. I would say I love a lot of like philosophy. So I actually used to read a lot of like Stoic philosophy stuff, like Aristotle and some of those guys. It's pretty left field, to be honest, but yeah, I think that's what I was sort of into as a kid. I was a bit of a nerd, I like to read and stuff.
Nah, so I'm the exact same. I used to really love listening to this guy, I forget his name now, but he used to talk about like just different stuff, and it's just like it's so like just chilling, like reading that stuff or listening to it, and it just really makes you like go deeper into your mind and sort of process things as well.
Yeah, for sure, man. I'm all about that stuff, thinking about the whole damn, meaning of life and everything.
Psychology kids these days.
So
yeah, you
oh,
go,
wait,
you go. Yeah,
oh,
you go,
okay.
you go.
So so your so fast forward to your junior career with the Stewart Sabres. So what do you remember about sort of your experience playing for them?
So like I said, I started at Woodville and then made the move over to Sturt. I think in that same sort of time frame, that under 16s, when I was, thinking about really working at basketball. And so I made the move there. I think they had the best players in the state. They had the best coaches. So that was kind of my reasoning to go there. And then when I came into Sturt, I was really like, I was a Div 2 player or a bench player that sort of had to prove myself. And I guess I didn't really get a huge opportunity to do that until I sort of made a couple of state teams. And then the lead up towards the state team is where I really like established myself as like a workaholic type guy. And then obviously it made me a lot better. And that's where I started really making a name for myself. And then I was able to come back to Sturt after being at the AIS and things like that. And then really be able to show what I got type thing.
So speaking of the AIS, like what were you able to do there? Like what were you able to gain from going there?
Oh, man, I gained a world of knowledge from the AIS. I mean, being like a 16-year-old kid and just being taken out of home and living in a whole nother state, like just that in itself is going to make you grow and make you a better person. And but then I was also, coached by Adam Caporn, who taught me about nearly everything I need to know as a point guard, how to be a leader, and then how to be a person in the world that not only is just a person in the world, but someone that can like do something special. And he taught me a whole lot about that. And yeah, I mean, I'm so grateful for moving over there. It was a crazy experience for sure.
So in your final year at the AIS, you captained the side and averaged 15.6, 4.9 rebounds per game, and 3.2 assists in the C-ball competition. How do you sort of look back and reflect on that last year and like the growth you had at your time at the AIS?
Yeah, so I would say my first year at the AIS was probably the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. And I was going through some stuff personally, mentally, and then also being taken away from home and having to live in a new environment and had to meet new people, which is challenges I hadn't faced before. So my first year was, to be honest, just the biggest learning curve I've ever had in my life. And then I just saw myself, I kept getting in the gym, I kept getting a little better, and gaining some respect amongst my peers. And then, so then that second year, yeah, I guess I just became a whole better player, and they gave me the honor of being captain of the AIS. And I guess my confidence was just really high because I'd put in the work, and yeah, I was just confident in my abilities, and I just played well.
Right. So you also played for the South Australian state basketball team. What was it like to be able to represent that team, or like your state?
Yeah, it's always a pleasure to represent South Australia. We got a funny reputation for not always being one of the best states, but being like almost up the top. So, yeah, so it was great to finally get a gold medal for South Australia, and then silver medal the year after. And yeah, it's always a pleasure to represent your state. I really despise Victoria. So,
Man, come on, most livable city.
Yeah.
It's funny because I used to go to school in the country, so I had like a lot of kids from South Australia that go to boarding school with me, and they play a lot of field hockey. So they'd be like the state like South Australia field hockey team, and I used to hate like playing against like the Victorian kids. It was just the little rivalry that'd be going on. It was always funny just to witness as well.
It's a good little rivalry. To be completely honest with you, I've actually never beaten a Victorian team in my
Try.
Spain.
We won gold, and I'm not going to say the reason why we won gold because we would have beat Victoria in the grand final, but they lost in the semis. So
I'm just saying, Victoria makes it to the finals.
I don't know. Kyrie was injured, kind of thing, you know.
they did beat us earlier in the comp. So.
Oh damn.
Hey, but
So
gold, they got bronze, so they can't say shit, you know. Yeah.
So you were a part of that under-20s men's gold team in 2017. What was it like to win that tournament?
Sorry, you cut out there, but a little bit. I heard that. That gold medal team was a great team. I mean, it's always fun when you're with a group of guys that really love playing together, and it's rare. Like, it's super rare. So I think that team had a crazy chemistry with all the talent we had. Everyone was still able to come together, and we really enjoyed each other's company off the floor, which then translated onto the floor, and it showed. Like, we won the grand final by, we were down at halftime and end up winning by 20 because everyone just stuck together. Yeah, everyone just stuck together. It was a great chemistry, and honestly, like, being on that team showed me what I want in future teams.
Right. So you've also impressed on the international stage, where you were invited to the Adidas Summer Championship in Las Vegas and Adidas Nations in Houston. What was your initial reaction like when you were invited to these events?
Those events are great. So I think what happened with those events is I had some pretty bad ankle injuries. I ended up breaking my left ankle and had a couple surgeries. So because of that, I missed out on the under-19 Australia team. So I think missing out on that gave me, another edge, something to work for. And then I was lucky enough to get onto the Adidas Nations team and play against some of the best players in the States and the best prospects and guys like Zion and Melo Ball. Got dunked on by Zion, actually.
Spain. Oh my god.
Stop saying Spain.
Sorry.
I'm telling you guys too much, man. I should just keep that to myself.
Zion, we're coming for you, bro.
Keep me on
the deal. Don't worry. We'll get Zion back.
Maybe just
get Zion back.
Get Zion back. We got it.
When the 36ers play the Pelicans in a preseason game soon.
Snap his ankles. Just snap his ankles. See you later.
I've been waiting for that opportunity, man. He probably won't remember me, but
every you just got a photo of him in your room, just like, I'm gonna get you one day, man.
Man. Those tournaments are great. Same sort of thing. It was good for me to just build my confidence back up. And from those tournaments, I sort of saw some of the best point guards, that are now going into the NBA after like a year of college type thing. And I got to like measure myself up against them. And I felt super comfortable on that floor. And I felt like I held my own. And I guess I was proud of myself in that fact, because now I've come home and I'm like, all right, these guys are in the NBA, or these guys are about to be in the NBA. Like, I feel like I could get onto their level, or I already am on their level. I just got to prove myself.
Yeah.
Right.
So then, I guess that's the good thing about like these sort of competitions, because like when you're in Australia, you're not really going against like those NBA type level guys where they're like, those guys get to go against them like every week. So these competitions really do help like give other countries' talent a chance to go up against them.
Yeah, the experience is the best thing you get to gain from those events, really.
So then in 2018 you're awarded the I can't say names today. The Bob Stutton Award as the most outstanding player during the 2018 competition. What did it mean to you to win this award?
Yeah, that was huge for me, because I'd been through a lot leading into that tournament with my injuries and mentally too. And yeah, I guess that South Australia team we had was probably not meant to be one of the best teams, and it was a similar sort of situation as the year before, where we just sort of came together and it showed, because we had good leadership, kind of talking myself up there a little bit, but
the captain was good.
The captain carried, but you know,
I don't know who it was.
no, it's a similar sort of situation. Like it all sort of came together. Obviously, I didn't go into that tournament, striving to be the MVP. I went into it, wanting to win another gold medal, and we ended up getting silver, losing to, who in the grand final. Victoria. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, getting that MVP medal just sort of was just a bit of validation for the hard work that I had put in prior. So yeah, that was nice.
Right. So after leaving the AIS, you trained with the 36ers and you're able to gain like your first stint with them. Like, what were you able to gain with your first stint from them?
Yeah. So so I came back. I basically from like school holidays and then came to Adelaide and trained with them for a little while. And that was my first sort of moment to get to know Joey Wright and see how he operated. And it was just the system that he had in place. I really liked because he's the type of guy that really develops his young guys. Like he really puts time in to make people better, and he's passionate about it. So I hung out with him a lot and just learned a lot from him. And we just got in the gym and worked out. And then at the same time, this was probably just after I had got that gold medal. So that MVP at nationals. So my confidence was pretty high, and I sort of went into those practices like I got nothing to lose. I'm just gonna go and hoop. And they had a good team. That was I think they went to the finals that year too. But yeah, I just got to play against some pro guys, and I kind of surprised myself because I was like, damn, like I think I'm good enough to actually play against these guys. And I guess that's what Joey thought as well. So that's where our relationship sort of started, and then sort of built now throughout the years.
Then after that first stint, you then went to go on to play for the St. Mary Geos in like university or college in America. What was sort of that decision making behind going to St. Mary's?
Yeah, so I know there's college basketball was always a dream of mine, and now there's a lot of high prospects changing their minds and going sort of the pro route instead of college, which is really cool. But that wasn't really part of my decision. I really wanted to go to college, and St. Mary's is renowned for having great Australian players come through, Aussie point guards, Delhi and Paddy Mills, which those guys were great too. While I was there, I spoke to Delhi a fair bit, and he sort of helped me through a lot. So that was cool. I just wanted to get that Aussie connection, and St. Mary's was a cool place. Right. Speaking on my time there was real interesting. So I didn't really see much. I was only there a year, and I could say that I learned a lot about myself and what I need to do as a basketball player, because it was a bit of like a realization, like, oh, like you think you're good, but you're not, type thing. You know what I mean? Yeah. So my confidence was high, and it was a bit of a kick to say, no, you got to get back to the gym. Like you got to really get back to work. And there was a few things at St. Mary's that didn't go my way. Like I didn't really see the floor, and I thought I should have played more. But again, like I learned from it, and now I'm not there. I mean, I think I'm in a better place, and it's sort of, added more fuel to the fire.
Right. So I mean, speaking on your college career, like what was your favorite part of your like college basketball there?
We had a good team. Like we won our conference against Gonzaga, who were the number one team in the country. That's probably my best memory. I didn't even play in that game, so I didn't say. You asked me what's my best basketball memory from college, and that's probably it.
Just winning.
I didn't really. If I'm being honest, it was either that or there was a drill in practice where the coach was on the floor and I didn't see him, and I caught the ball and I just smacked him, man, and he went rolling. Them two are probably my two favorites.
Just trucking the coach.
It was a one-time opportunity, so I'm happy.
And it's like you don't get in trouble for it as well, so it's a win-win situation.
It's a win-win situation.
Exactly. I didn't see it.
So before we go on to your professional career, we obviously got to ask about when you represented Australia for the first. I don't know if it's the first time, but it's the first time I saw at the FIBA Oceania tournament. So what did that mean first, like to be selected to the Australian national team?
Yeah, that was the first time, and then I missed out on a few teams just because I couldn't stay on the floor. I just kept getting injured. But man, that first time getting selected, I was kind of the nobody in the group. Like there was a lot of big names, and I was just a dude from South Australia. I don't think we had anyone from SA for a long time. I don't know the right number, but so yeah, I was a nobody, and then just sort of kept proving myself against those guys, and so they selected me. And I can't speak on how it feels to put that Australian jersey on. I think it's the best feeling in the world, to be honest. Like it's been a dream of mine for sure, to represent my country. I think that's the greatest goal of mine, to play for Australia in the Boomers in the long run. The NBA is always a big goal, but there's nothing like putting that green and gold jersey on, man. It's hard to explain, to be honest.
Yeah. So you also won the gold medal at the FIBA Oceania competition. What did it mean for you to bring home a medal for your country as well at that time?
Yeah, that was super cool. It was a good group of guys that we had, and I can say that group, even though we were pretty young, I've still got friends from there that I think I'll have forever. So, and bringing home gold was cool. I was unlucky to hurt myself and not be able to go on to the world tournament. But just that little taste, I guess, it's really stayed with me. I really want to get that again.
Yeah.
So moving on to your professional career now, you said after leaving the St. Mary Jewels, you returned to your hometown team to the 36ers. Was this sort of a clear-cut decision to sign for them?
Wait, what did you say at the end there? Sorry.
Oh, was it like a clear-cut decision to sign for the 36ers?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was, because I wasn't happy with how what sort of happened in college, and I knew I needed to make some changes, and I think that there was no better place than home, to just come home and really just knuckle down and get to work. I guess I built that relationship with Joey from when I practiced with him. And I wouldn't say I was a high level name coming into the NBL because I hadn't really played in college. So I was really lucky to be given that opportunity from Joey, to have 1 year development year. And then these next 2 years coming up are going to be on the roster. But yeah, I would say it was a pretty clear cut decision, just because I'd been around Joey, I'd been around obviously home in Adelaide, and I knew what I was going to expect, and I knew that I could just come back and just really get to work.
So your first professional game was always a dream. What was it like stepping onto the court for the very first time as a professional?
It was awesome. We had a packed crowd. It was against New Zealand. Who did New Zealand? Oh man, what's his name? I forget. He's on the draft.
RJ Hampton.
RJ Hampton.
Yeah. And I had never really played against him before. I had heard a lot about him, but it was good to just step out there and match up against him a little bit, because we were sort of a similar age, and he had all the hype behind him, NBA prospect and all that. And I was kind of just a DP at the time, so it was cool to step out and do that. We had a packed crowd, and it was a whole lot of fun. Us young guys ended up playing really well, and yeah, I'm just excited to do it again. Just get out there and do it for real.
Yeah.
So then, for our listeners who haven't seen you play before, how would you describe your game?
Yeah, so I'm 6'5", so I'm pretty big for a point guard. But like I said, I modeled my game after guys like Steve Nash and John Stockton. So I'm a pass. Well, I don't know if I'm a pass first guy, but I like to get my teammates involved. and play out of pick and roll. That's kind of where I've sort of made my money, I guess. And then I guess I just also pride myself on the defensive end, and I'm just really working to become a better athlete every day. So hopefully I can add that in too.
Yeah. So you're still very young. Like, what are your goals as your career like continues to pan out?
Yeah, so I'm pretty big on, setting goals that, really high. So even if they're not achievable, at least you get, if you're aiming for it and you come up short, then you get close to it, sort of thing.
Yeah.
But in the same, I have full confidence in myself that I want to go and play in the NBA, and I want to be able to do that in a couple of years and be good enough. And if I really put the work in, I can see myself getting there. So yeah, I would say in the long run, it's for sure the big league, and then representing my country again. In the meantime, like next year, I'm going to be a rookie in the league, so hopefully I can prove myself to get enough minutes. And then I feel like if coming in and seeing some of the other guys that are going to be rookies, there's going to be a lot of talent. But I'm for sure, going for the rookie of the year, no doubt. Like I don't feel like I put pressure on myself. I just have a lot of confidence in myself.
Keep your eyes peeled, people. Rookie of the year. He's called it.
He's called his shot. He's done.
He's called his shot. He's called his shot. Babe Ruth.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking of, Babe Ruth.
Yeah.
All right, now the most important question. There's only one correct answer. Oh, I'll take two, but there's one.
Two correct answers.
Two correct answers. Who is your NBA GOAT?
Oh, Michael Jordan.
Hey, he knows. He knows. No, you're not in this. You can stay on your LeBron side.
Shut up. Shut up.
Stay on your LeBron side. And I think I'm winning now. I think MJ's got more votes than LeBron now.
Yeah, I think
Kobe's got the most votes. Kobe's got the most votes.
I think now that the Last Dance is out, I think it's no question.
If the Last Dance wasn't out, everyone would still be LeBron. That's all I'm going to say.
I would still be Jordan.
Yeah, you would be, just to piss off other people. But like, everyone would still be a LeBron fan.
Yeah. No, I agree that it changed a lot of people's mind, but I was always Jordan.
Yeah, fair enough.
I need to start putting a little ticker here, right here, that just says who, like, our votes on who said the GOAT is. I'm not going to remember.
I was going to say.
I'm not going to remember.
So, like, what's one thing that pro athletes go through that, like, fans wouldn't really, like, think about or know about?
I think it's different. I think mental health is now becoming pretty prevalent, pretty in the mainstream now, and people have started to talk about it. But the life of an athlete is different, because if you think about going to work for the normal 9 to 5, like people are working, you go to work, you do your thing, you come home, and then you see your family, you eat, blah blah blah. You know what I'm saying? But the life of, I guess, a pro athlete is just so unpredictable, and there's so many ups and so many downs, and you got to deal with management, and you got to deal with fans, and you got to deal with teammates, and keeping so many people happy. I'm not trying to say that the 9 to 5 is bad, and of course there's a lot of struggles in it, but I'm just saying that sort of the life of the pro athlete is now sort of becoming more exposed, and the mental health is now sort of really becoming a conversation. And I can see why so many athletes go through it. I myself, I have too, for sure. I'm young, so I haven't really experienced hardly anything in the pro world, and I've gone through it too. So yeah, I mean, it's just sort of the unpredictable part, and I guess it's just a whole, pro basketball is real cutthroat. So
yeah.
you gotta be in your A game every day, and you gotta really compete, even if it's against teammates, even if it's against, sometimes hopefully not the coach. So yeah.
Especially on this like fan side, you see like every day online, like you have like one bad game out of like 10 good ones. On that bad game, people are just killing you for like a bad pass or something. It's actually insane, especially with Twitter. You see everything now. It's no longer just like friend to friend. It's like athletes can see what other people are saying now.
Yeah. I kind of got my first taste of it when I first signed with the Sixers, and I sort of went online and I read the whole thread. It was just, I don't even know what the website is, but it was Alex Mudronja signs with the 36ers, and it was like, this guy's trash, this guy, blah, 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 blah. And it's people that obviously it's all, I don't know these people, but I can definitely see how if you're an athlete and you let that, you read into that too much or you look at that too much, it can really get to you. So I think the fans don't realize what they say can sometimes be seen by the athlete.
Yeah.
And I'm big on, if you're going to say something online, then just say it to my face. So if you're not going to come up to me and say, "Oh no, you're trash," then don't write it on the comments. You know what I'm saying? So
bring the same energy.
Yeah,
Wow.
for sure.
Bring the same energy.
Yeah. So I kind of got a taste of that, and I was like, wow, like I'm not even in the league yet. And
I haven't played.
I can't wait to turn the ball over and then have people, and then see what.
One turnover. Man, this guy's trash. He got dunked on by Zion. Guy's trash. Fair enough.
With that, have you ever had like a crazy fan experience? Have you had a crazy fan experience yet?
Nah, to be honest, I haven't had anything but love from the Adelaide fans. And even though I was a DP last year and a development player, I wasn't even part of the team, but they show so much love and just come up and get a photo, get a signature, and just it really boosts you as a player. I know people seem to we'll see if it happens, but people seem to get annoyed by fans a little bit and get over all the attention.
Yeah.
But I think being in Adelaide and seeing those guys and the love they give to the team, it really builds you up to just want to go out there and play hard for them. I think it really makes a difference.
Right. So
good thing we got him on the podcast early. We got him early.
So do you have like a specific like pre-game routine that you go through before every game?
Yeah, I used to be crazy, man. I think I've got like OCD. So I used to I had to get the same amount of sleep, wake up at the same time, eat the same thing, and then do this exact same thing. And it would drive me crazy because every now and then I wouldn't get it right. Like I would stuff something up, or something in life, the way life
We just ruin it.
happens, something goes wrong, and I don't get my routine in. Now I'm like, oh damn, like I'm definitely gonna get dunked on, or what I'm saying? I can't play, man. I'm gonna turn the ball over every single time.
Oh, that one's you can still tell like, that one cut deep a bit.
Zion's spitting on his mind.
He's living in his head rent free.
Damn, I can't play like that. So
yeah,
college is what taught me that, because I had it. I don't want to talk too bad about people, but I think I had a pretty crazy coach where I would come on in the end of the game and I was not confident. And I might have missed something in my routine, and now I come out and I'm like, I get the ball and I'm like shivering. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
man, like I'm confident in my abilities, but then I get out there and I'm freaking out. So I knew that was something I had to change and work on. So I'd say now I just get like an activating lift in, because I lift almost every day. So that's just part of my daily routine. I try and keep things sort of the same. So I just get a lift, get some shots up. And it doesn't have to be the exact same anymore. And then sort of probably have a nap and then, eat some pasta or something and then play. So I'm not too fussed about it anymore.
Pre-game naps.
The nap is vital. The nap is vital.
Yeah. Everyone takes naps, right? Before a
exactly.
game.
Hey, I do pre-podcast naps. So this is my game. Then.
The nap is vital. All right, don't sleep on sleep. All right?
Don't sleep on sleep.
Don't sleep on sleep.
Oh, I like that.
So when you're not playing basketball, what do you like to do?
I guess I like to travel a lot. And I sort of, because South Australia is relaxed on this coronavirus situation. We don't have any basketball. So I've just been getting out, traveling. I like to surf a little bit and just hang out with friends. Nothing too crazy.
Right. So if you're not a professional like basketball player, like what else would you be doing?
Damn, that's a good question. It's a really good because I enrolled in uni earlier this year, and I was like, I started it, and I was like, I really hate this shit.
Yeah.
Mood. That is
It's a mood. It's a mood.
Like I struggle to sit down and do something that I don't enjoy.
Yeah.
So I got I don't know. I like to write. I like to do my own little things and study my own little things. But I guess I love basketball, so that's all I can really see myself doing. I think, man. See, I think I'd probably be doing another professional sport. Like,
yeah, fair enough.
I don't know. Yeah.
I mean, he's 6'5". You can't argue with him. He's 6'5". Like,
I mean,
I could see him playing for the Dons, Essendon. We need a tall forward right now.
Get him on the Blues. Get him on the Blues, and then
They like to AFL teams like to get the basketball players at the moment for sure.
Yeah.
Up a fair bit coming home from college, and they're sneaky, man.
Yeah, Ben Simmons to Essendon apparently.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Was it
actually? Are you Port or are you an Adelaide fan?
I'm Port Adelaide.
Port Adelaide, right.
Yeah, that normally gets like a negative reaction.
I mean, it's just
because a lot of people I know are Adelaide fans.
Yeah,
like all the South Australians I know are Adelaide fans.
Right. But Adelaide suck right now, so
Adelaide suck. It's probably good to be a Port fan right now.
And then I guess our final question for you is: do you have any advice for a young Australian kid who's looking to go pro in basketball or any sport in the future?
Yeah, absolutely. I think the biggest thing that I preach about is, so basically when I went to the AIS, I made the decision to just like, all right, this is what I want to do. I'm going to go work out, do school, and then work out, and then go to sleep, and then do it every single day, and just block out everything else. Block out my friends, block out my family, block out, you know what I'm saying? So I would probably say the biggest thing is, work hard, like always work hard. But like, remember that you're a kid, and you gotta take time to actually be a kid, and go out with your friends and party a little bit, not too much, but you know what I'm saying? I think the biggest thing would be just find a good balance where you're able to work hard, but still be able to have fun and not shut anyone out.
Yeah.
That's some good advice right there.
Some solid advice for kids these days. Work hard.
Play a little less harder, but still play hard. And with that, that concludes our episode. Thank you so much for coming on the podcast. An amazing guest, and also, guys, make sure you're checking out. What do we say? Apple
Instagram,
Podcast,
social media, basically.
Apple Podcast, 5 stars, and Apple Podcast does bits. Check out all the links in the description, and we'll see you guys next Tuesday.
Peace. Thanks for us.
Thanks for having me.